Diamonds bling.
Hi friends, it's Gwen. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here to share my December TBR and share the live show information at the end of the month, because as you guys know, I have been doing live shows for my monthly wrap-ups and I have a whole bunch of fun guests and I want to share all of the details with you. That will be at the end of the video, but let's jump into the books that I am hoping to read in the month of December. I only picked a handful because I really don't know how busy I'll be. I know I have a lot of videos to share with you guys. I know I have a lot of podcast stuff coming out, also Patreon stuff, which if you want, the link is down in the description box. And I also have a holiday book haul coming, and I'm hoping to read the majority of those books this year. So I only picked a handful to share with you today, but when you see my holiday book haul, I'm pretty much going to be trying to read all of those, so keep that in mind. The very first one on the top of the stack is One Last Gift, and this is by Emily Stone, who I read from last year. Loved that book, rated at 5 stars. Always in December, so loved that. But Jessie and I are going to be buddy reading this book together this year. I don't want to read too much of the synopsis of this one because I didn't when I read that book, and I think it might give a little too much away, but I think this is going to be emotional. It says, sometimes the best gifts in life are the ones you don't expect. And it says, Cassie and Tom lost their parents at a young age and relied on each other as well as a community of friends to cope. They were especially close with Tom's best friend Sam, who always made sure that Tom and Cassie were surrounded with love. But now, 20 years later, Cassie has lost Tom as well. And in a way, she also lost Sam. Over the years, they've drifted apart, and these days, the man she always had a crush on is someone she doesn't even recognize. So, Jessie's kind of entered her romance era this year, so we're going to be buddy reading this one. She said that she teared up just reading the synopsis of this one. I almost choked up just reading that tough little paragraph. So I think it's going to be an emotional one, but I hope it's as good as the first book. All right, next up is the 4th book in the Campers and Criminals Cozy Mystery series. So I think it was like back in the summer, I read the first 3 books in the series and I saw that the 4th book was a Christmassy one. So I've been waiting until now to read the 4th book. This one is Christmas, Criminals, and Campers. And I mean, how cute is that cover? But this series is by 𝒂𝒏𝒂𝒔. And like I said, it's the 4th one in the series, but basically in the first book, the main character, her husband has been sent to prison because he did this Ponzi scheme, and now she is on her own and all their assets have been taken from them. All she is left is like the keys to a camper and the deed to this campground. So she goes there, it's kind of derelict, and she needs to fix it up and kind of start her new life. And it's in this small town called Normal, Kentucky, and she meets residents of the campground and some of the businesses downtown and stuff like that. And I've really enjoyed it so far, so I'm really excited to continue in the series. Librarian Abby Fawn is starstruck when her favorite romance author, Nadine White, has rented a cozy camper at the Happy Trails campground for the winter months. So that should be super exciting. Next up is another buddy read. I have had this one on my TBR since last Christmas because someone actually gave this to me for Christmas. I should have the note in here still. Yes, I do. Yeah, my friend Danielle gave me this last year for Christmas. It's A Cross Country Christmas by Courtney Walsh, and I love this cover so much. But we have a character that isn't a fan of Christmas. Yeah, Laurel Richmond isn't a fan of Christmas, which is why she rarely makes the trip home to the Midwest for the holidays. After all, she has plenty to keep her busy, namely her duties as a set decorator on a TV sitcom. I think that would be such a fun job. But this December, Lauren's brother and his wife are expecting a baby, so her brother arranges a ride home for her with his good friend Will. Unfortunately for Lauren, she's been trying to forget college basketball coach and childhood crush Will Sinclair for more than 10 years. So they take this trip. It's going to be cute, and I can't wait to read it with Keisha. very, very soon. It's the second graphic novel in the CC's journal. This is Lost and Found. I recently read the first volume and really, really enjoyed it. The first volume had 2 stories in it, and I rated them both 4 stars. So I rated the entire collection 4 stars. I'm not sure how many stories this one has. But it definitely has more than one. The first one is called The Last of the 5 Treasures. But this one is set in winter and Christmas time, and this is about our girl named 𝒐𝒏, and she wants to be a novelist when she grows up. So she keeps this journal where she keeps like kind of her writings, scrapbook pieces. She posts photos in there and stuff like that. So it's kind of like a scrapbook of sorts. Like she'll do little drawings and she'll post photos in, and she writes things. So I think this will be really, really fun for the winter season. This was recommended to me. This series was recommended to me by Keisha, and she was right. I loved the first one. I think I'll love this one even more. This one is a little bit chunkier, so I'm excited because they do go fairly fast and you just don't want them to be over. But I think they have good messages in them for the middle grade audience. And as an adult, they're just like so wholesome and warm and cozy. I'm like, you just want to hug the characters, you know? So I'm excited about that one. And then the last book that I officially have on my TBR is The Rewind by Alison Wynne Scotch. And I am so excited to have a copy of this. This is not my book of the month copy. Actually, Jessie gave me this copy. So I didn't choose any books in November from book of the month. And then somehow I still ended up with 3 book of the months from November. I bought 2 in Barnes & Noble, and then Jessie gave me this one. But this one I think I'm going to save for the very end of the month. It's going to be like my New Year's Eve kind of read, maybe into the new year. I'm hoping to finish it this year though, instead of rolling it over, because I always like to read a reread for my first book in the new year. But The Rewind, it says 2 exes wake up together with wedding bands on their fingers and no idea how they got there. They have just one New Year's Eve at the end of 1999 to figure it out in this big-hearted and nostalgic rom-com from best-selling author Alison Wynne Scotch. So they're college sweethearts, and they broke up before graduation. They vowed never to speak to each other again. And 10 years later, on the eve of the new millennium, they find themselves back on their snowy New England campus for the wedding of mutual friends. Frankie's on the rise as a music manager for the hottest band in the late 90s, and Ezra is ready to propose to his girlfriend after the wedding. Everything is going to plan. They just have to avoid the chasm of emotions brought up when they inevitably come face to face. But when they wake up in a bed next to each other the following morning with Ezra's grandmother's diamond on Frankie's finger, they have zero memory of how they got there. So I'm very, very excited about this one. Jessie gifted me this copy because she picked it for November, and it came damaged. Like, it has a rip here on the cover, and then it's also like damaged here on the inside. And she contacted Book of the Month, and they said that they would send her another copy. So she's like, what? She knew I wanted this. It was on my wish list. So she's like, well, if you don't mind a damaged copy. I was like, girl, bring it to me. I will take it. So yeah, I have a copy now. Thank you so much, Jessie. But those are the books that I am hoping to read in December. Well, some of them. I'm really hoping to have an amazing reading month, like my big comeback to BookTube. But now I want to share the details about the live show that is coming at the end of December. So like I was telling you guys, this year, new kind of on my channel, I've been doing live shows at the end of the month, kind of like a monthly reading wrap up, but I do it with friends because I have found through my podcast that I really like talking to people about the books that I read more than just like talking just to my camera. So I started doing monthly reading wrap up live shows, and those have been a lot of fun. I have skipped some months, but I am bringing it back next year as well. But for December, since Christmas is actually on a Sunday when I would normally do my wrap up, I'm actually moving my live show to the 27th, which is a Tuesday. I'm skipping the Monday because Jessie has Mondays for reading sprints, and I don't want to interfere with that. But on Tuesday, December 27th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you can catch me, of course, Lena from Lena's Bookshelves, Jordan from Bookish Gem, Summer from Seasons Readings, Caitlin from Pride and Paperback, and Keisha from A Book Like You. I will have all of their channels linked down in the description box. I will have all of the information about the live show down in the description box. I also posted it on my community tab with like a little teaser photo. But yes, I am so excited about this live show because it's not going to be just a December monthly wrap up. It's going to be an extravaganza. It's going to be the end of the year bash with my friends where we talk about all kinds of books, you know, our favorite books, our least favorite books, books that we recommend, books that we don't, most disappointing, what book reminds you of this song. Like, it's going to be so much fun. So definitely mark it in your calendar now, Tuesday, December 27th, 8 p.m. and plan to be there. But that's all for today's video. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you're all having a lovely day or night, and I'll see you guys again in another video very soon. Bye, friends.
Sleigh bells ringing, diamonds blinging, carols sing.